Started. If Miss Leah could set our recording, that would be great. All right. So this whole summer, I want to make people's lives easier. I actually always want that. My motto is definitely the same Edina Realty motto, and it's like I want to build your business to make you have a better life. And I am all about efficiency. I've jumped on the AI bandwagon. I'm always on checklists and things like that because I want to always be as efficient as I possibly can. And real estate is a career that you have to be efficient. Otherwise, you can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so I'm hoping that I give you a tip today that might make your life a little bit easier and add a few more minutes, hours to your summer. All right, so fonts. Many of you guys already might be using these, but I wanted to just mention it. On when you go to fill out a purchase agreement on Transaction Desk, it is super easy to just come up and hit this little button up here and change the style. I always change it to bold because I think that it's just a little bit easier to read. And I know Terry Shalene had said she always changes hers to blue. I also think that's helps stands things out. I did have an agent that always did it in red, and I'm not kidding you. Every single time I got her paperwork, I was like, "Oh gosh, what's happening?" I felt like she was screaming at me. But I think if you want something very flashy and urgent, definitely put it in red. But you can also change the font size. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's like people are looking at these on their phone, and you're like, "Okay, I want to make sure that they are reading what they're, signing," kind of thing. And so you can change the text size. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. And then the other thing is clauses. A lot of people are like, where are those clauses? I get a lot of calls on the weekend. I know we have a clause. And you guys, if legal is telling you about it and they're like, oh, we're writing a clause, it's going to be in here. So like, as you can see, there's already acceptable homeowners insurance clause so that we can protect our people that are really on that tight, budget and wanting to make sure that they can get appropriately priced homeowners insurance for a home that might have an older roof or might have something, like that we need to be concerned about. Um, and to find the clauses, because there's a little bit of a trick, because some people call me too and they're like, I can't get the clause to go in there. I don't know how to do it. It's not working for me. If you come up here and hit clause, they'll all drop down, but it will only let you drop them down if you found a blank spot to put them, and you need to click on the blank spot that you're going to put them. So you can't just even go to the page and just hit clause. You need to find where you're going to do it and click into it and then go to clause. And you can go to either up there, except also, you guys, if you click where you're going to write the clause, this little button that pops up that says add clause. We're so used to looking at the paperwork for years and years and years, we sometimes don't even see those. So wanted to make sure that you could see how easy it is to add one of these clauses to your paperwork. And then the one piece that I'm hoping that is something new for you guys is that I didn't even know about. And honestly, you guys, I did know about this when we very first got Transaction Desk, but I kind of forgot about it because Edina started making these awesome templates for us. And so we just always use those. But I don't know if you go into the templates and are sometimes like, why do we still have an earnest money receipt in here? Why do we still have this in here? I don't use the buyer's estimated expense worksheet. I depend on the lender for that. You might have forms that you don't really need to have in there, and so you can make your own. You can also make your own that says like for property for well and septic or all those kinds of things. So let me make sure. Can somebody tell me if they followed to the Transaction Desk screen?
Yes.
Yay. All right. So on the left-hand side, because I know you know how to all get in here, um, you can scroll down to where there's clauses right here, just FYI on that too. But there's also templates. And you're going to come in here and you're going to see all the ones that Edina made for you. But I will tell you, that I always am like, oh gosh, I wish I had one completely practically filled out for me so that when I'm on a boat somewhere, and of course they need to write on that house that I showed them 5 days ago and I was totally free for the next 3 days. And now they're waiting until I'm on vacation to tell me they want to write this offer. I wish I could just go in and have it pretty much filled out. I could change a few things and away we go. Well, now you can do that. And if you're like, okay, so first you can come over here and go to the add button and start from scratch. But if you're like, well, I like a lot of the things that are in the, regular packet. I just want to add a few different things. You can just come over to this one and make a copy. And so then you come in here and say copy, and then you can rename it whatever you want. Well and septic PA. Because, not every PA needs all those like extra forms in there, but maybe you can just have your well and septic one so that boom, those ones are in there. So then you just hit create. But I took that same ER buyer packet that was already in there for me, and then I relabeled it
The bottom.
home with well and septic. Actually, that's not what I named it. I named it well and septic PA. Okay, so right here, I come in and I click on it, and hopefully you are following along. And then you can come down here and say forms. Oh, and all of these things are in there. I gotta just move this little piece that has all you people on there.
Pretty simple, isn't it? Pardon me? It's pretty simple. Just add a well and septic.
All right, so then you can come in and say, all right, earnest money receipt. I don't need you. Um, if it has a well and septic, it's probably not a CIC, so I can take that out of there. And I don't do a buyer's expense worksheet because I feel like that the good faith estimate is more accurate, so little makes me a little nervous to be dependent on that for me. But then I can also come in and add forms if I wanted. Like if I wanted to add something else in here, you could do that. But to get rid of them, we all know we just go to the basket and hit trash and then go there. And then if you are like somebody that's like, okay, a lot of these things could be filled out, you could come in and go to the purchase agreement. Hopefully you guys are still following along. But you can come up here, down here, and say, well, most of the time it is contingent on financing. Most of the time they only have a first mortgage. You can maybe leave that part there, but you know, if you know what the market is right now, you could, come in and say, we're good up to 8%. Most mortgages are 30 years. I always use this unless I get countered back or if I'm in multiples. So I can always have that just filled in for me. And then I always use any time prior that the lender and the buyer would like to. I always use buyer for this. So the things that I always do, I always do. I like to just be able to say, most of the time we're always having an inspection. It is contingent on the inspection, but we're not going to do intrusive, all those things that you normally would do. You can also put in verbiage if you're like, whoa, my people usually I always recommend a radon test. So you can write in here, radon test will be performed. But anything that you put in here, all you have to do is come up and hit save, and it saves. So when you come out of here and then go into your templates, and just so you know, your templates show up when you go to write any PA. Like when you say, okay, put in the name and, whatever, you can choose from your templates, they'll be there. So you don't have to come into this side button, but this is where you easily can come in and make them. But I just wanted to show you that well and septic PA now go into that purchase agreement, and everything that we put in there as a standard is now already checked So when you come in to use your templates, you can just come in and just verify, yep, 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 and get right back on that boat. So, does anybody have any questions?
Hey, Lisa, this is Terry.
Yes, Terry.
I know we talked about it earlier this week about changing the font color on these forms to make
Yep.
them easier to read. You might want to show that too while you're in here, because then it would save
Yes.
the text in that color. So just a
Oh, yes. So if you like the first slide that we showed today, guys, this is another spot that you can easily just come in and you can choose like whatever kind of style font you want, and then whatever color you want, because it's always just black, and then set that. And then we also talked about how we might want that size to be just a tad bit bigger so that everybody can read it. And then you can have that be, so let's just see, find something that we can type in. That is always something like right here.
So changing that to blue does not change your check marks to blue.
No, it does
Nope.
not.
check marks don't change.
Nope, just the font on and on writing. But really great tip. Anybody else? And maybe you guys are all saying, oh, we've been doing this forever. Of course, Lisa, but I haven't, and I love that we can just make a standard one. So,
I
all right,
love this.
Paul,
Thanks, Lisa.
holler if you need anything. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you, you as well.